Hello! Today we have Pathfinder Battles, the Mwangi Expanse, loot box of sorts. I'm usually not a fan of loot boxes in video games, but I actually have been finding it fun in the context of tabletop role-playing games because you never know what comes inside and you get a variety of miniatures that can actually trigger some cool ideas. So the idea behind this video is that we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to see what's inside. And then we're going to be a little bit creative and we're going to try to come up with an adventure on the spot using the miniatures in there. The miniatures might not be enough. We might need to supplement that adventure with others, but we're going to try and use whatever is in here as the main NPCs or monsters of the adventure. I don't know anything about this Pathfinder Mwangi Expanse. I don't know if it's a campaign setting or a module or whatever. I mostly just buy it for miniature sake and then I use them in my world. So I might actually end up using monsters that should actually be benevolent, but I might use them as bad guys or something. So I'm always changing the rules to kind of fit into my own campaign setting. So we're going to see what's in here. I have not opened this box yet. I still need to cut the plastic, or rather the tape. And we will see what's in here. Okay. All right. We have a bear. That is actually not what I was thinking. I was hoping for something a little bit more mythical, like whatever that thing might be or something like that. But that's the nature of the loot boxes. So let's continue with the challenge. We have a bear and we have 3 other miniatures that we're going to look at in a moment. Let's start with this one here. So I'm replaying Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment, so as soon as I see that bear, I'm thinking of a druid character of Halsin. So I'm thinking druid adventure. This is really cute. Check this out. It's a little spider. What is it called? I can barely read it. Anna the Elder Spider form. Okay, is this some sort of creature that can change into a spider form? I don't know, but this is kind of cute. So, like I said, when I see that bear, I'm starting to think of a druid. So I'm thinking a Fae-related campaign, something with animals, something with creatures, something about druids. Especially now that we have this little cute spider here. Let's continue seeing what we have here. What could this be? Okay, I actually got one of these in a loot box some time ago. It's actually kind of weird in my opinion to implement these creatures because they're sort of a mix between an animal, but it can also hold tools. And like I said, I don't know anything about the lore. I apologize about that. I'm just seeing what the miniature looks like, how it speaks to me, and how we can use that in an adventure. We will continue. Let's take this stuff out of here. And the last one. Now we finally have our last miniature that is a human. This is actually going to be quite challenging to come up with an adventure for this. But we have this lady, this person. She seems to have an animal head on the top of her head. Is this some sort of crazy Pathfinder creature that has 2 heads or something like that? But now that I'm actually seeing this, I'm starting to think of a decent idea that I think we can work with. So finally, I'm just gonna show all of these miniatures up close. And I'm gonna say in a moment what I think we can do with this. And I'm not editing this video. Sorry guys. I'm a little lazy like that. And I actually do like the charm of those old YouTube videos that people were just making stuff with crappy cameras and crappy microphones and so on. And that also excuses my laziness a little bit. So now that we're looking at these things, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. So actually what triggered the idea was this lady here with something behind her head. And I'm thinking something like a curse, something about the druids that when they are shape-shifting, it's not really working in their favor and they are ending up in these weird half hybrid mutant transformations that are not allowing them to transform all the way through. And this lady here could be actually one of the miniatures that can better exemplify that. We could also play a little bit with double personality here, where maybe this woman is a nice, friendly lady, but as soon as the hyena head sort of takes over and starts talking, then maybe it's a more aggressive creature. So we could do, let's say, because I really think this is a very cute spider. It could be, I'm thinking, first of all, it will be something next to a forest, next to a woodland area, if you're thinking about fae, wood elves, and so on, that the players would first in the distance. And by the way, I'm keeping this, I should have said this in the beginning, but I'm keeping this system agnostic. The current group that I play with, we play all sorts of systems. So I'm not going to detail about rules or mechanics, but we're going to have an idea about what we can do here, and that can be used in different systems. So I'm thinking during the player's travels, they would run across a spider that seems to be carrying something on its back. And we could have it could actually play out where we are describing to the players that far in the distance they're seeing this creature, this large spider that seems to be carrying something valuable. And if we actually see in the miniature here, there's a staff. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a druid circle that needs help with this curse that they have, that it's messing up with their transformations. And if there is a druid or a ranger in the party, you could absolutely tie their backstory into this. So you could have this spider in the distance. Maybe it's being attacked by a different creature or something, or maybe it needs help. Maybe it's trapped, and then the players would eventually come in contact with it. They might try to steal the items from the spider, but in my experience, at least in my group, they would typically try and communicate with the spider. And then we could have, if it's a druid that is trapped in this form, again, it's that curse that is sort of messing with their shape shifting transformations. Then we could have this is actually a druid, maybe related to one of the players' backgrounds, and is trying to communicate with the players, asking for help. You could have an opportunity here to use spells where the players can speak with animals, or maybe use some insight to see what the spider is trying to convey. And basically, the spider would be asking for help. And if we bring the bear into play here, maybe this is actually a normal bear. First I said it was a druid, but maybe it could actually be that these two creatures were engaged in the combat, and it's up to the players to save this tiny spider creature that is actually a druid in shapeshift form. And then the bear would simply be an animal and actually not a druid. And once that's solved, once they find out that, hey, this is a spider, a creature, a druid of sorts that needs help, then we could go to the next step of the adventure. Maybe the spider would take the characters back to where this hybrid lady is. And this would also be a good role-playing opportunity where, if you're a game master that is comfortable with doing funny voices, you could have the lady on one head saying, "Oh, hello, adventurers, welcome to my humble abode." And then suddenly the hyena would turn and, "Ah, what are you doing here? Begone, creatures." And slowly the players would, okay, they're finding out that there's this druid circle that is having issues, that there's something that's getting in the way, something that is either blocking their transformations or not allowing them to go fully through. And this would be the issue that the players have to solve. And if we're still trying to be creative and use what we only have here, then we have this other creature here. And to be completely honest, I'm a little stumped how we could then progress this into having some sort of big baddie, or some Machiavellian leader that is kind of behind this. But I'm thinking of a fae, some sort of fae curse, maybe the archdruid, or maybe this lady, who could be the archdruid. One could argue. Maybe it's her who made the deal with the fae and was not able to honor this deal. What could that deal be? Well, we could always play with the ideas of the faes sort of twisting deals in their favors, and maybe she tried to achieve more power to the druidic circle, but unfortunately, it's not playing so much in her favor, and as such, the Fey Prince would be cursing them in this manner. Of course, this is an idea that needs time. This is just a sort of like a, what do you call it? Like a just an idea to set things in motion, and then it would be normally in my creative process. It would be over the next days that I would actually develop this. But I thought it could be a fun challenge to try and come up with something, and maybe one could even have that once these transformations go through, and some stay stuck in their animal forms, others are hybrids. We could also have some that are actually affected at a level where they are hostile. So we could this could actually be, if we go back, perhaps the spider is not being attacked by a bear, but perhaps it is being attacked by this lemur creature, which could be one of the druids that went crazy, that went wild during this transformation. And if you could perhaps tie these creatures to a player's background, like I said, a druid or a ranger, and maybe this is their father or their brother or their friend, I think that would make it even more relevant. So we don't have the full content here for a full adventure, so it's not exactly as I was hoping right now, at least. But the idea is that, just to do a quick recap, we have this little spider fellow in trouble, and once the heroes try and engage with it, it is showing that it needs help, leading them back to this lady, who leads to a role playing opportunity where she can explain what's going on, and there's this curse, and then perhaps this could lead up, depending on your party, you could throw some combats against some creatures. If you have other miniatures in your collection, you could have other hybrids that are kind of getting in the way, which are the druids that are trapped in their half transformations and have gone mad. And then this could lead perhaps to a bigger adventure, with the players going into the Fey Wild, where they will meet this Fey Prince, and maybe he offers them a deal. Maybe the players have to. Well, this is now leading to a larger adventure. So if we try and tone it down, if we keep it to a single adventure, we could have these druids sort of create a portal, allowing the players to go into the Feywild. Maybe as part of the curse, they are not allowed to enter the Feywild. And then maybe the players going in there would meet with the avatar of this Fey Prince, and then it would be a good opportunity to come up with some puzzles, some riddles, try and see how the players get around that. And yeah, I think I have reached my creative limit for now. I don't know how useful this was. I think it's kind of fun. It's not ideally a full adventure as I was hoping for. So I think this could be a good startup point. It would definitely be enough to fill up a session with these creatures that you have here. It wasn't as epic as I was hoping for, the miniatures, but come on, spider guy. It's so cool. It's really cool. And maybe now I'm having some more ideas, and then actually maybe this druid would allow the players to use the staff that is on its back, and it could be a staff related to spider powers, using web abilities, summoning spiders, small insects, being able to walk on walls, and so on. And if the players manage to make a deal with this Fey Prince that cursed the druids, then maybe they could even have, if it's the sort of campaign setting where you're building an army, where you're building allies, then at the end of the day, this could be a way to recruit this druid faction to become allies with the player characters. So yeah, there you have it. It's something. I'm just messing around, seeing what works, what doesn't work, doing what I think is fun, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Spider Guy!